Hello, hello, hello. This is Dr. Camp signing on. And today is my first day on my new job as a chaplain, a staff chaplain. I am so excited. It's been a long, long time since I finished my chaplaincy program as a resident. So I finished in August last year, 2024. And it took about up until now for me to get a full-time job. I did have part-time jobs as a chaplain associate, but it was more challenging to get the job as a staff chaplain somewhere. So I just want to go over a couple things with you about if you are looking to be a chaplain. Here's the process. So there's a process. It's called CPE education. So it's clinical pastoral education. So that's the first thing you have to do. You have to become an intern. And as an intern, you have to have a bachelor's degree. And this is 90% of the time you need all of these things. But sometimes some people go straight through. Sometimes these rules, these requirements don't apply to everyone. So I'm just going to give you what is expected. But it doesn't suit everyone. Because I know some people, there's chaplains that didn't go through this process. Not many, not many. So don't go that route. But in most cases, it go like this: you look for a hospital, and there has a CPE program. The first step would be become a volunteer. Well, an intern, which is a volunteer. You do not get paid for that. And so what happens is you sign up. You need a bachelor's degree. They're going to ask you all these questions. You got to fill out the application. Some places is checking to see if you're ordained. Some places are seeing, like, are you affiliated with a church? Different things. So different ones ask for different things. But all of them are asking for a bachelor's degree. So you need a bachelor's degree in whatever area, I'm not sure. I had a bachelor's degree. So you go through that process. You fill out the applications. It's a long, long application. They ask you about your entire life. You got to talk about your childhood, your middle class, when you was younger, and when you got older, and your connections. This is a long, 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 long paper. Very detailed paper. You write that paper. You give them all your ordination papers, your degrees, and your photo ID, all that stuff. You send that stuff in. Then they select you, see if you can get into the program. So you get into the program, and once you get into the program, there is 6 months that you are working, and you have to work 12 hours a week. 12 hours a week. That's what's required. 12 hours a week. I worked a full-time job, and I worked there on Saturday all day for 8 hours, and then on Sunday I worked 4 hours. So I work 12 hours a week. You can break it up in any kind of way that you want. You can, but long as you're doing 12 hours, and that's based on where I was at. Other organizations may be different. So that's the internship. Then you have to have what we call that's the clinical pastoral education part. You have to have educational hours. So the educational hours would be, I used to take class on Mondays. When I worked my full-time job, my job was so awesome where they allowed me to go online and sit in the classroom, like online, because where I worked, where my chaplaincy program was not here. So I had to be online to do it. So they allowed me to go online from 12:30 to 4 every day. I will punch out, on Mondays. I will punch out at 12:30, sit there and be in my CPE training, and then I will punch back in at 4 o'clock and continue to work. Best job ever. I love them. I will never forget them. They are so awesome. And so what happens in this here CPE training class? So one of the things that we did was we learned about a lot of different subjects. One of them was grief. One of them was gift of life. We learned about different systems. We learned about theories, family units. We learned about a whole lot of different things. So you take these here discourses, and you then you got to give like feedback. We call the EPG. So it's called experiential. Everybody calls something different. Where my location was, we call it EPG, experiential processing group. So after you do your class and you do this EPG, during the week, you are seeing patients. I worked at a trauma 1 stage place. So I was working with a lot of people that was dying, a lot of people that was in tragic accidents, and a lot of terrible things was happening to people. So we had this group so you can process what was happening to you, how you was processing what you saw. Sometimes you could process things in your own personal life. So this group, you sit in this group, and it's usually 4 people to the program. You need 3 for the program to exist. You need 3 interns. I know you need that for the residency program. I don't know if you need that for the internship program, so don't quote me on that one. But in my class, we had 6 people, and it was awesome. 2 women, 4 men. So we will go around and we'll talk about what stuck with us. So the rule was, when you start talking in this group, you would be able to say how you felt about whatever was going on. And then the people in the group couldn't comment. They couldn't say, well, I would have did it like this. Or they couldn't ask you no questions. They would actually listen to you and find something relatable from your story. And then they would decide, somebody in the group would decide if they want to comment. So everybody wouldn't have to comment, or they can switch the subject. They can say, okay, well, what I hear you saying, or what I related to was this. So, and then once they say they related to whatever it was, they saw something like that in their own life, and they was like, I can relate to what you said. And then they say their part, and then they say, anyone else. And then somebody else in the group can comment as well. And then somebody can say, if it's not relatable, they can say, you know what? Is it okay if I switch the topic? After they say something to you, is it okay if I switch the topic? They say yes. So they'll switch the topic to something else, and then they'll tell their story, and then we'll respond to them. So that's called EPG. I learned how to listen during this EPG time. I learned how to listen to people. I learned how to not judge people, because you're thinking, well, I've never been through nothing like that before, or I would have went through that different. You can't do that. All you can say is you begin to look, your eyes get trained to look for similarities instead of differences, instead of comparisons. You start looking for what is in this that this person is saying that I can personally relate to. And then you don't try to give them advice. You don't. You just listen to what they say, and you just basically say, I can relate to that. And then you give them what you related to. So I'm going to start another one and talk about the internship, the residency program. So that's the internship program. You do that for 6 months. It's you do not get paid for that part, and you sign in every day. You sign in. You sign your hours in. So it was a wonderful program. I learned a lot. Did not realize I was going to go further. I just wanted to do chaplaincy. I didn't know a lot about chaplaincy. I knew the heartbeat of chaplaincy, and I knew I wanted to be a chaplain. So listen up for the next video talking about my time as a resident. God bless you, and enjoy your day. Dr. Camp signing off. Oh, and like and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and like and comment too. All right. And if you want to know about the chaplaincy program, the one that I went to, inbox me and I'll send you the information. All right. Thanks. Bye.